It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for season 11 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the promo for season 11 episode 10, which is called New Haunts, and I'm going to be breaking down the teaser trailer. Of course, if you haven't checked out season 11 episode 9, you'll want to do that first before watching this video. You can even watch my reaction to that episode if you're interested. But with that said, stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, before we jump into this, as always, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. This teaser actually starts with this shot of Daryl, Judith, and RJ entering an area at the Commonwealth. We know it's the Commonwealth because the Commonwealth flag is in the background, and we do see a soldier dressed in the Commonwealth military as well. They're entering a petting zoo. This looks like it's the first few encounters that the characters have with the Commonwealth, and so they're just taking it all in. But what this definitely tells us is that unlike the cliffhanger of the previous episode, or I shouldn't say the cliffhanger, but how the previous episode ended with the 6-month time jump, we are in fact gonna see the survivors getting to Commonwealth and experiencing Commonwealth right away, like immediately when they enter Commonwealth, and we're not gonna get a time jump and see the aftermath. So the events that we saw in the 6-month time jump in the previous episode is most likely going to be coming up again later on, but they're gonna backtrack and explain what happened when the characters first got to Commonwealth, which is what we all want to see. In the voiceover, Daryl says takes a minute to get used to all of this. He's talking to Carol, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, but we see a few more shots of Daryl Dixon just looking around inside of Commonwealth and trying to take it all in. And then we have this pretty interesting shot of the leader of Commonwealth, Pamela Milton, and she's taking a picture. I'm assuming this is a costume competition or something like that at the Commonwealth. The next shot we have is, I'm assuming, related. So we see Judith clapping and watching someone. I'm assuming she's watching Pamela Milton and the other kids. And then we have this shot of Daryl and Carol talking. Carol says, maybe we don't need to do anything to make it work. Meaning they don't need to do anything to make this place work because it already works. Or it looks like it works. And then we have this shot of Carol appearing to be spying on someone, maybe Pamela Milton, maybe Lance Hornsby, maybe Sebastian, but she's definitely suspicious about something. And then we have this shot of Lance Hornsby running out of a building at the Commonwealth quite quickly, as if he's in a hurry. Either he received some important message or news, or he's running to warn someone or something to that effect. And then we have this shot of Mercer, the commander of the Commonwealth military, having a few people go through some tests, and he's training them. Obviously, we do see Daryl Dixon and Rosita there, so that's pretty awesome. We know that Daryl becomes a soldier based on what they revealed in the last episode. So we're just seeing it come to fruition here, which is pretty cool. In the voiceover, Daryl says there's always something we gotta do to make it work, which is very true, especially with the Commonwealth if we think about the comic material. And then we have this shot of some walkers eating something. I'm assuming this is in the surrounding areas of Commonwealth, and this is where the survivors are sent to in order to be accepted into the Commonwealth, or they're actually going through drills just like Eugene, Princess, Ezekiel, and Yumiko had to go through. We have this shot of Rosita in the same area, so she's going through that same drill. And then we have this shot of Rosita talking to Magna. Magna says this place is like a city from before, which is pretty much exactly what it is. At least in the comics it was. In the TV adaptation, it looks like it's a much smaller city than the comic version. But in both cases, that's a pretty accurate description. And then we have this shot of Lance Hornsby in some sort of a celebration that they're holding at the Commonwealth. We actually see Princess in the background as well. I just noticed that she's dressed as a princess, so she's taking her name quite literally. And then we have this shot of Lance Hornsby walking up to the podium to give some sort of a speech. We also do see Princess here as well. And then we have this shot of Lance Hornsby walking Pamela Milton, the leader of Commonwealth, up to the podium. We do see the real Stephanie right here. Stephanie being the girl that Eugene was communicating with. I don't know at this point if Eugene knows this or whether it's still a secret to him. And then we also do see Sebastian, Pamela Milton's son, sitting at the table right there as well. And then we have this pretty interesting shot of Daryl giving someone this kind of death stare. And then in the voiceover, Magna says people who don't fit in get cast out. So people who don't fit into this lifestyle or this type of community get cast out, they're thrown out, or they are forced to leave. Something to that effect. But who is Daryl giving a death stare to? It might be this person, Pamela Milton, right here. They put those two together. I don't know if that's on purpose or if they're trying to mislead us, but I don't think that Daryl would give anyone else that type of stare. Maybe Lance or Sebastian, but someone from Commonwealth for sure. But we do see two Commonwealth soldiers with Pamela Milton, and she's carrying a shotgun, which is very interesting. This actually connects to the picture that they released with Sebastian holding a sword. Maybe Pamela is also there. The next shot we have is Daryl snooping around at the Commonwealth. He's definitely intrigued and suspicious about this place, and he's just trying to get a sense of what's actually going on here. And then we have Carol doing a similar type of thing. And then Lance Hornsby talking to Daryl here. Lance says, so you found a way to get outside the walls. What do you want from me? So it looks like Daryl did in fact find a way to get outside the walls, and he may be trying to use this as leverage to get Lance Hornsby to listen to him or do something. But I don't think that Lance is too interested to play along or even care to play along. And then we have this shot of Carol actually looking through some cabinets at the Commonwealth. She's snooping around and she's trying to get some information about who the Commonwealth are. It definitely fits her character. She's definitely that type of person to not trust everything and try to find out what's actually going on, just like Daryl. And then we have a scene from Pamela Milton giving a speech. She says brick by brick and block by block. And then on the side, we also see Sebastian sitting at the table. And then we see Commonwealth soldiers quite literally taking blocks and forcing their way into a house. In the voiceover, Pamela also says putting the world back together the way it was. So block by block, brick by brick, they're trying to put the world back together the way it was. Obviously, it's just a show. It's just her way to brainwash the citizens of Commonwealth. But then we have the Commonwealth soldiers in this shot going into the house, finding this, which is a weird type of emblem with Commonwealth at the top, but it's crossed off, and then at the bottom it says for something. But then the next shot is this one right here. Looking at a teaser that they released before, there's someone who's actually arrested or captured during the celebration because he's speaking out and he's saying there are thousands just like me. He does say resist the Commonwealth. So I think what's happening here is that this is an emblem or some sort of a theme for freedom fighters at the Commonwealth. So that's very, very interesting. I'm assuming that this is how the group kind of learns about the true problems of the Commonwealth, and that's their way or their cue to start that engine of making it work, just like Daryl and Carol talked about earlier. But that's pretty much everything that was in this teaser. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.